So good afternoon. Bob and I bring you greetings from the 220 acres of gorgeous that are all of yours in Molalla, Oregon. Before I begin what I plan to say, I just wanted to thank Walter John for his words and to tell all of you that this was not the life Bob and I planned, but I'm sure glad it's the life that was waiting for us. So thank you very much. Bob and I began our annual Camp Adams report, the one you received in your registration packet, with the following statement that I'm going to take the liberty to read verbatim. The touchstones of our work as directors of outdoor ministries and resident camp managers over the past year have been twofold: humility and confidence. We have been humbled by the important opportunities a place like Camp Adams offers all of us in our faith and our lives, as well as the enormity of the work that it takes to sustain and to protect such opportunities. But we've been confident that the strength of the natural beauty and traditions of Camp Adams do have a place in the future of our conference and our denomination, and that our role is to shepherd the Camp Adams community into the newly emerging era of outdoor ministries in the United Church of Christ. This afternoon, I would like to take just a few minutes to elaborate what we mean, or what we're beginning to mean, by that new era of outdoor ministries, and how we see Camp Adams participating in this new era. Every other year, the individuals in leadership positions in UCC camp programs and conference centers gather for what we call consult. So imagine camp for camp directors. It's actually a really wonderful week. This November, we will all be traveling east to North Carolina, and the keynote address will be given by Dr. Paul Hill, who I must confess I don't know, maybe some of you do. But his keynote address, I thought, really captured what Bob and I have been up to over the past 18 or so months. And the title is, How the Historical Camp DNA Can Be the Starting Point for a New Future in Outdoor Ministries. Now, of course, I have no idea what the content of his talk is going to be. And you know, sometimes we're a little disappointed when we go to the talk. The title sounds really great, and it's not exactly what you would have said. So I don't know what he's going to say, but if I had written the title, this is how I would proceed. It's no secret that the camps owned by the United Church of Christ across the United States have been struggling. Dramatic decreases in church attendance, changing demographics, cultural shifts in parenting, and the creation of a veritable marketplace of summer camp opportunities have meant that fewer and fewer youth attend the traditional summer camp programs that were the financial bedrock of mainline Protestant church camps, Camp Adams included. And in an attempt to supplement the income of shrinking summer camp programs, many of these camps have turned to the business world for models on how to market and manage their camps for outside user groups, leading to the inevitable Pandora's box of tensions when one tries to balance the often uneasy relationship between business and ministry, Camp Adams included. This is why, whether we like it or not, we are entering into a new future in outdoor ministries, and this is why we need to make sure that it's a secure future. The good news in all of this is that through all of these significant social, cultural, and economic shifts, the unique aspects of camp, its DNA, so to speak, have been protected by a fiercely loyal group of camp supporters who believe passionately in camp and its role in our conference, in our denomination, and in the most essential elements of our faith journeys. Say what you like about camps, wring your hands over their financial statements, scratch your head in disbelief when you compare the summer camp sizes of a decade ago to today. But the historical DNA of outdoor ministries is a strong strand of genetic material. Bob and I have spent a great deal of time trying to distill the Camp Adams experience down to its unique and essential parts, its DNA, to identify them and then to find a way to make them relevant to life here and now. And it seems to us that above anything else, what makes Camp Adams a unique experience is the opportunity to experience communal living in a pristine, natural place. For generations, we've recognized the value of such an experience. Camp has been a perfect way to escape the seasonal discomforts of the city. Camp has been an undeniably effective way to build strong and lasting social bonds and to learn how to build community. Camp has been a place to explore oneself, to gain self-knowledge, and camp has been a place to explore and build one's faith. And now, we believe strongly that UCC camps, and Camp Adams in particular, needs to become a place where we connect the dots between ourselves, our faith, and our creation in ways that instruct us how to face and address the dire environmental and social consequences of climate change. In July at General Synod, the United Church of Christ took the bold and important step in its decision to divest UCC assets from fossil fuels. We in the UCC are again in the vanguard of the most pressing issue of our era. And this time, it's the recognition of rapid, undeniable climate changes and their undeniable relationship with the strength and the health of our communities. We now know that our hard-fought and ongoing and historical fight in UCC for justice is inextricably linked with our care for creation. The ministry at Camp Adams that is emerging and taking shape for Bob and for myself is one in which the natural treasures of Camp Adams are used as a classroom where we gather to teach each other and to learn from one another how best to navigate this emerging and uncertain future, where God's creation is in dire need of our attention. We believe strongly that the DNA of outdoor ministries in the UCC and in the CPC is perfectly positioned to play an important role in how we as a faith community and as members of other communities, both local and larger, live into this future. Perhaps the relevance of the historical DNA of camp is no longer about getting back to the basics. No longer about getting back to the basics to experience community and faith. Perhaps the relevance of the historical DNA of camp in this emerging era is about moving forward to the essentials. Moving forward to the essentials where we can more easily identify and thus protect the fragile connections between self, faith, and creation, the connections that sustain us all.